and we're going to go. So good evening, everyone. Masterminders. Oh my goodness, I am thrilled beyond belief. You can't even understand how excited I am to have you be in this mastermind. I'm Allison Chavez. You guys all know me, but I figured I'd make it all official. This is our bonus call for the Success Without Struggle Mastermind. We officially start March 14th. That's when our next call will be. But I am so freaking excited. I didn't want you guys waiting any longer, and I actually wanted to give you some assignments and things to do before we actually, so that you get a head start on what it is that you're creating over these next 4 months. So tonight's call, I expect to be here about a half an hour or so, unless we've got a lot of questions. Longer and answer any questions. For the most part, our calls are going to be about 60 minutes, and again, I try to be super respectful of everybody's time, although sometimes, like I said, we've got more questions, there's things that are coming up, and so if you have to sneak off the call a little early, that's totally fine. If you have to come a little late, that's totally fine as well. All of the calls are recorded, and so if you can't make the call live, as soon as it's rendered, I usually have it up there within an hour or two of the time when we have the call. So definitely within 24 hours, that call will be posted. And I encourage you, if you can, to be on the call live. If you can't, it's okay too, but make sure that you're listening to the call every week. I don't want you falling behind because we're growing and we're building as we go. And so I don't want you like, oh, I just took the month off and where are we? Like, oh, then you're behind. And so I want you on top of everything with us. The way that I structure the calls is I really enjoy love seating people. A lot of people call it a hot seat. I like to call it a love seat. If you're having some difficulties, if you're bumping up against something, I don't want you to have to try to unravel it all on your own. This is the closest you can get to private one-on-one mentoring with me in this kind of a situation without having to pay $12,000 to mentor with me. And so take advantage of that love seat opportunity. I usually give you about 10 minutes to love seat whatever is going on, and then we can go into the training part of the call. So, but I love engagement. I love interaction. That's where most of our stuff is going to happen. Is on Voxer, and so I'm going to create a Voxer group a couple of days before we start. And so then I'll invite everybody into that group. So you'll want to find me and tag me on Voxer so I'll know you're there, and then I can add you to the group. You can't get in the group on your own unless I add you to it specifically. So find me on Voxer, and then a few days before the group starts, we'll go ahead and create that group. It's a really, really powerful group. This is, I like Voxer more than Facebook, and let me tell you why. Because if you haven't used Voxer before, it's like a walkie-talkie, and it alerts me when anybody is texting something on Voxer or talking on Voxer. And Facebook notifications, for whatever reason, sometimes notify me and most of the time doesn't. So if you posted something on Facebook and tagged me, I may or may not see that for days, not because I'm ignoring you, but because it didn't have the notification. And so this actually lets me know immediately that somebody's on, and then I can jump in there and do some course correcting if we need to, some celebrating. We do a lot of celebrating in there as well. But the Voxer is the place where you've got community, you've got support, and you've got accountability. So I want you to take advantage of that because that is so immensely powerful.
So you've got a whole bunch of Allison Chavez here in Voxer.
Oh, yeah. I'll put my name on there. Let me look it up real fast. Thank you for bringing that up, Lark, because there are a ton.
Yeah, I didn't know there were so many of you.
So it's Achave, ACHAVE, 83844.
With the Z on the end, though, right?
No Z.
No
Z. So
okay, because your Zoom has a Z on the end.
The Zoom has a Z, but not in Voxer.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, and then what was the number?
83844.
83844.
Yes, HAVE 83844, and okay. I'll put that in the Facebook group as well.
Okay, so not your first name then? Is that what you're saying?
It's not my first name. The profile or username. Yeah.
Okay. I am not. Yep. Oh, Achave. Okay.
Achave.
Found you. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, put me there. Sarah, thanks for joining us. We're happy that you're here. Oh, there you are. It's Lark. Lark, you are on the ball, and you are so on the ball that sometimes you're on the wrong ball. So
yes.
which is fantastic. I love it. So I looked at the document. I'm going in a different direction really quickly. I looked at the document because you sent me a message the other day about it doesn't, like, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day goals. Where did you find that?
So in mod 2 at the beginning, it says, okay, you should have finished your 60-day and 90-day goals. And I'm like, no, I just did the vision. It's at the very beginning. You say it at the very beginning. So I went back in mod 1 and I kind of listened to the first part and I looked at the document. I'm like, there's nothing specific about 60 and 90-day goals.
What mod are you talking about? What mods are you talking about?
So module 2 of Success Without Struggle.
Oh, the virtual boot camp.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I was thinking you were talking about the mastermind. And
okay,
I'm like,
maybe I'm really confused. Okay.
Did you buy, but you didn't get the virtual boot camp.
No, I got something that has a whole bunch of modules, and it's SWS.
Did I give you a link to the virtual boot camp? Because that's all. Is it? Did you log in there and there's a bunch of videos in there, like 15 different?
Yeah, I'm like going to town.
Well, congratulations, girl! You just got my virtual boot camp for free.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I don't know what's the difference. I was like.
What did I give you? What did I send you?
It's Success Without Struggle. It's I said.
Will you
a picture.
Yes, will you send me a picture of that? I mean, that's a $997 program, so way to go, girl.
So no wonder I was asking you different questions. You're like, why are you asking?
I'm like, what did she jump into? Because that's not part of this. So I was looking in the files of the mastermind that I'm running right now. And I'm like, where did she, what is going on? So
okay.
Great. We're on the same page now.
Yes.
Okay. That is fabulous. But just for my own curiosity's sake, I would love to know what was hooked to that, so that I know how you got into that. But you'll love it. I mean, it's a fabulous program.
I'll just give you lots of feedback and you can okay, I'll fix that.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So much. Okay. So Sarah, I'm just kind of laying some groundwork, the ground rules right at the very beginning. Masterminding is key. You're going to get out of this what you put into this. And I know that sounds super cliche. It's actually a natural law. It's called the law of compensation. And so I want you to put your all into this. I want you to take this really seriously. And I know you guys all do, which is why I'm so excited to work with you. But don't hide. This mastermind is intentionally small so that nobody's going to fit through the cracks. Now, my goal is 20 people in here. Right now, we have 7. And so it's gonna be a nice, tight little group. And I'm super excited about that because the way that I mentor is I hike the mountain with you. I don't stand at the top of the mountain and yell at you to hurry and come join me because the view is magnificent, but watch out for the boulder that is heading for your head. Okay, so I'm in the trenches with you, and I like to have that. But I don't run an adult daycare though. And so if you choose to hide, I'll respect you hiding. I'm not going to babysit you, but you guys are all, you're entrepreneurs. You know what you want. You are determined to get it. And so I don't expect that I'll have anybody hiding. But so you know, it's a small enough group that I will call you out if you're not playing full out, because what you are after requires you to play full out. You guys have shared your goals with me, and they're not mamsy-pamsy goals. They're like, holy crap, am I really going to get that? Those are those kind of goals, which is fabulous. But it requires you to really show up, and it requires you to face some of your demons, and you're going to find that your demons are nearly as big and bad as you thought they were. And it requires you to be really disciplined, but you're going to love how you feel with the discipline. And so, because the things, I'm going to teach you how to think right. And I'm going to teach you how to picture right. And when you do that, it doesn't matter if your circumstances haven't shifted yet, they will. All we care about right now are inner shifts, and then your outer shifts will come. So you are going to have massive confidence, like you are going to feel certain before it even comes. And that's one of the keys that you're going to find out a little bit later when we get into it, is certainty is one of those keys. And I'm going to teach you how to be certain. I'm going to teach you how to actually harness the power and the frequency of faith and gratitude as tools to create the reality you want to experience. They're not just these like feel goods that people, that's usually people's experience with gratitude. Oh yeah, I feel good. When you can actually harness gratitude, you change your entire life. You change everything. When you can harness the frequency and the literal power of faith, changes the entire game instantly. And it's massive. And that's what we're doing. We're going to harness the power of your mind, the power of thought. I'm going to teach you natural law so that you'll use it correctly instead of breaking yourself against the law. And you will be amazed at how easily things come to you, and how easily your goal comes to you. And so, your goals are so juicy. I am so excited for you. Like, some of your goals scared me, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're after. We want these huge goals, like, holy crap. Now, the big thing about your goal is it needs to feel impossible, but you also need to believe that you can get it. Okay. And I know that sounds a little bit like, it's like a paradoxical, but you need to be able to see yourself reaching that goal. Because if you can't even see yourself with that goal, you're not going to get it. I promise you won't get it. So it's okay that you're like, I have absolutely no idea how this is going to happen, and it kind of scares the pants off me, but I can see myself there and it feels so good there. That's perfect. That's the perfect goal. But you don't give me anything to work with when you're like, this is what I want, but I don't see how it's ever going to happen. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. There's nothing for me to work with there with you. Okay. So just be aware of that. And if you see me glancing down, I'm just looking at my notes because I can go off the rails really fast and I can wax eloquent really quickly, which I think is a lot of fun. But then you're like, oh, listen, it's been 10 minutes. So that's why I've got notes here. What else are you gonna get? Assurance that you're on the right path. And sometimes you're gonna get really big evidence that you're on the right path, but more often than not, it's a quiet assurance that you're on the right path, and just keep going on the path. Your trust in yourself is gonna skyrocket. Your faith in yourself is gonna skyrocket. And your trust in the process and in God or your higher power, whatever your higher power is, it's going to skyrocket. But there is a little caveat to that. You must do exactly what I tell you to do. Okay? So that's the thing. I don't want you innovating. I don't want you like, oh, so I'm going to take some of Alice's teachings and I'm going to mix them with this Buddhist monk Zen teachings that I had a little while ago, and then I'm going to go over here and do that. Not that there's anything wrong with the other things that you've learned, but you must do exactly what I tell you to do in order to get the results that you want. I know how to get your results. I've used the exact things that I'm going to teach you to get the results that I wanted as well. That's how I know they work. I'm in a unique position because I went from faith to knowledge through experience. You guys are still working in the principle of faith and in some uncertainty as well, which is totally fine. But you've got to trust me that I know exactly what's going on in your mind when you're having a grand mal freak out. I know how to get you out of the freak out. I know how to get you out of not just the freakouts, but the apathy sometimes, or the lack of motivation, or we're just going through the motions, okay? We can't just be going through the motions. Just do exactly what I say and you're gonna get what you want, okay? One thing that I want to point out first off is that whatever you're wanting is just as real right now in idea form as it will be when you experience it physically in your body. That's one thing that's going to feel a little bit surprising to you when you get it, is that you're not surprised by it. Because I'm going to teach you how to feel your way to get it and to imagine your way for it to come to you into your reality. And so It's just because it's an idea or it's in spirit form does not mean it's not real. It is absolutely real. It's just in a different form. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it from spirit form and we're going to bring it into physical form. And that is so fun. That is such a fun process. But remember, it is a process. This is not just 1, 2, 3, and 2 hours later, you've got it. Okay, this is why this is a 4-month mastermind. What I found from my own experience is that the big ideas that we want, those big goals that we want to create, generally take about 100 days before there's really big shifts in your circumstances. Now, you're going to find little shifts as you go along, but the really big ones take, I have found, between 3 and 4 months. Now, I am not here to guarantee any kind of results because I can't get into your mind and fix neural pathways like you get to do that. I will teach you how to rewire your subconscious. I'll teach you how to run new programs, but I can't get in there and do it for you. And I can't say, even if you're doing everything exactly right, that, oh, it's coming in 88 days. Like, I don't have any say in how long the creative process actually is for you. You don't have any say in how long the creative process is for you either. Your job is to enjoy the journey and to make sure that you're not the weak link for the reason why what you got isn't coming to you. Does that make sense? Does that land? Okay, awesome. Not everybody here is going to get their full physical manifestation of their goal in 4 months. And I don't say that to discourage anybody or anything like that. It's just the whole creative process. It takes longer for a tomato seed to grow into a fruit than it does a zucchini seed. And that doesn't mean that tomatoes are better than zucchinis or it's harder to grow zucchinis than it is to grow tomatoes. It's just their blueprint. And so some of your things have a longer blueprint than maybe the timeline you want to tack onto them. But I will guarantee you this, that if you do exactly what I say and you show up and you play full out, you will make significant progress toward that goal that you have in mind. Significant. And your physical circumstances will shift. It's not just going to be, oh, I took this program with Allison and I felt really good and she was really nice and I loved working with her. You're going to be like, dang, I either got it or I am so close to getting it because all of these things shifted. All right? Your inner shifts come first. That's all I care about. The only thing I care about, the only thing you should care about are your inner shifts. They come first and then the physical shifts come after that. The physical manifestation is the last piece of the process of creation. And we get so impatient for it that we actually make it take longer to get to us because we're violating natural law all over the place with our impatience. So just know that all I care about is changing your beliefs. And I know how to change your beliefs. And I know how to help you shift. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to figure out the hows. You don't have to figure out, oh yes, Lark, thank you for that. If you got background noise, mute yourself. Thank you. You guys are awesome. That was something I forgot. See, Lark's gonna keep me on my toes. You're all gonna keep me on my toes. I'm super excited. All right. Everything is going to happen eventually. It will. And even if it takes longer than 3 months or longer than 4 months to get what you're after, you are going to love this process so much that it's okay that it's not here yet. And you will sincerely feel that, like, I'm good. Like, it's on its way. It's coming to me. All right. You are going to become master gardeners. And I'm going to use the metaphor of the garden throughout this whole mastermind because it is so appropriate to what it is that we're doing. You're going to become gardeners of your mind and gardeners of your thought because your results always, always, always come from your mind. They don't come from a trainer. They don't come from your boss. They don't come from a client. They come from your mind. That's where your results come. So we're going to do massive weeding in the form of changing our beliefs or our stories in very powerful ways. I like to use the word stories rather than beliefs. Beliefs have such a heavy energy to them. I don't know if you have experienced that, but it's like, I have some sort of belief and it's subconscious and I don't even know what it is, but it sabotages me. And that is so heavy. Like, how do we even find that? I know how to find that, but most people just get discouraged because you're like, well, I'm screwed. I don't know what the belief is. It's hidden in my subconscious and it comes up and it sabotages me. So I changed that to stories. What's your story? We're going to change your story. It's super easy to change your story. If you don't like the ending to your story, all we have to do is change the story or change the meaning. So we're going to do that in the form of weeding in very powerful ways. I'm going to teach you techniques that if you use them consistently, you will never be stuck again. And you'll go on to create more massive goals and create your reality in ways that you cannot now currently imagine. One of the things that I'm doing next week is I'm going to a business conference for 3 days, and at least a day or two is specific on mindset and specific on rewiring your subconscious programs. And I am jazzed. That's really the only reason I'm doing it. I don't care about the business strategy they're going to teach. That's why I'm going, so I can get some deeper learning and I can come teach you. I'm so excited to do that. Now, I am going to caution you against the 3 most dangerous words in the English language, particularly when we're talking about what we're talking about, using our thoughts and natural law to change our circumstances. And those words are, I know that. Oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I learned that a long time ago, Allison. Oh yeah. What I'm going to teach you, I didn't make up. I've studied. This has been going on for 100 years. It's actually been going on for thousands of years, but it's been a real focus for the last 100 years in our society. So none of this material that I'm going to give you is original. My whole intention with you is to help raise your frequency and your vibration in such a way that what I teach you lands differently and it anchors more deeply. So you'll hear something that you've heard before, but suddenly you'll feel it click in a different way, and you'll feel yourself internalize it. It's actually a physical sensation that you'll feel. You'll feel it internalize, and it will go deeper, and suddenly it's like, whoa, because what I'm going to do is open you up so that you can receive things on a deeper, more intimate level than you have before. So be really careful when you're like, oh yeah, I've done that. Oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, oh, we should do this because I learned this, okay? Be really careful with that. I want you to be open. I want you to be sponge-like and allow it to sink in a different way and to land in a different way. You know what you're doing intellectually. It's usually the emotion that people have a hard time with, have a really hard time emotionalizing it. They know it intellectually, and some of you are so smart, you intellectualize yourself right out of your results. And we've had conversations about that, like let yourself not be quite so smart and not quite so on point all the time. Allow yourself to really open up and learn it, all right? What I'm going to teach you is going to touch you differently. You're going to hear it differently, and that's what's the most exciting thing for me. All right, have I got this? Okay, I do want to bring this out. I told you that inner shifts happen first. All we care about is how we feel in the moment. It's super, super simple. I am all about simplicity. All you care about is how you feel in the moment. So I'm going to talk about incredible amounts of awareness and then what to do with that awareness so that you're no longer stuck again. All of you are completely aware of where you're stuck. And I don't want to just say, oh, hey, you're stuck there. You're like, well, no crap, Sherlock, right? Like I want to take that awareness one step further. Here we are. All right, now we want to get to this other place. And this is what we're going to do to bridge that gap. I'm an excellent gap bridger. It's one of my gifts. All right. So your assignment, should you choose to accept, and you all have chosen to accept by virtue of the fact that you're here, is that we are going to start planting our goal in the garden of our mind. As ye sow, so shall we reap. And so let me continue on with this analogy really quickly. We're going to have a concrete and worthwhile goal. And it's got to be an image. It's got to be something you can sink your mind into. It's got to bring a picture to your mind. If somebody says, I want more business, that is a bullcrap goal. If somebody wants more money, that's a bullcrap goal. Because the universe takes you literally, and if you want more money, you'll find a penny on the sidewalk, and the universe's job is done. You have more money. Really, you've got to be super specific with this. How many clients do you want to have? How much money do you want to make? What is the relationship that you want to build, if that's what it is? Now, most of you were super specific with me when we spoke, and so you've already got your goal in mind. Just, you've got to be able to bring a picture into it. Like, what does that look like in my life when I think about this goal? We've got to have something concrete that your mind can sink its teeth into. All right? So I want you to think about a big garden, like how a farmer toils in his soil, and how he prepares his soil. He's got good fertile land, and the land gives the farmer a choice. He can plant whatever he chooses. The land does not care. He can plant whatever he wants. It's up to the farmer to make that decision. So we're going to compare that with the human mind, because guess what? Your mind doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return to you exactly what you plant. So it doesn't care. It doesn't care what you plant. So let's say a farmer has 2 seeds. He's got a corn seed, and then he's got a seed of nightshade, which is poisonous. He can plant those 2 seeds next to each other, cover it with soil. He can water it. He can tend the land, pull the weeds, all of that. And what is going to happen? The land is going to give him what he planted. Up will do a corn stalk, and up next to it will be poison in that nightshade. Your mind is the same way. It doesn't care. The land doesn't care. It will bring up poison in as much abundance as it will bring up corn. It just depends on what you plant in it. So we can either plant success or we can plant failure. Your mind is going to yield you whatever it is you plant. It will either give you your concrete, worthwhile goal, or it will give you confusion. It will give you misunderstanding or fear or anxiety, whatever that is. But what we plant, our mind has to return to us in the form of our physical experience. Okay? So you're going to plant your goal in your mind, and I'm going to show you how to do it tonight. It's the important decision you are ever going to make. So the first thing that I want you to do that might feel a little bit scary, which leads me to this mastermind is a sacred, safe space. So if you need to have a come apart and you don't allow yourself to have a come apart ever because you've always got to be put together, this is a place where you get to be vulnerable and have a come apart. It's very, very safe. I am really good at holding space, but I'm also really good at when I see that you are continuing to dig a pit, tell you to quit digging your pit. Okay? And so this isn't going to be like a whole like life is terrible kind of a thing. We're going to keep it positive, we're going to keep it upbeat so we can continue to support one another and encourage one another. But if you're having a rough time, that's what this is for. A lot of times our families mean well, but they really don't get what we're doing. And so when we're trying to talk to them about the things that we're learning, they're like, what are you doing? What's going on? Or this is why you can't get it. Let me give you all of the reasons why you can't get it. That's actually going on currently in the mastermind I'm leading right now. We've got quote unquote supportive spouses that continue to say how they can't afford what it is they actually want. And I'm like, okay, quit talking to them about it, because we got to get somebody who's going to help nourish your seed and not dig it up and throw it away. Okay, so that's what this group is about. So what I want each person to do, one at a time, I want you to unmute yourself and tell us what it is that you are after. What is your worthwhile goal that you're going after? And remember, like what happens in the mastermind stays in the mastermind. So I want everybody to feel like they can really be honest and really declare their goals. Okay, so does somebody want to volunteer, or am I going to pick you? Christopher, and then Trisha.
Okay, I know I've got a lot of background noise. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so my goal is to have an online automated service that I don't have to interact with other than check emails that makes $5,000 in a month by the time we're done.
Awesome. Is that concrete? Can you see that?
It's not as concrete as it needs to be yet, because I need to get more specific on exactly what that service is and what that looks like. But I'll be working on that the next week.
Beautiful. But you've got a number though. You've got a number. 5,000 automated by the end of this 4 months. I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you, Christopher. Trisha, you're next.
Hey, great. Sorry I was a little late, everybody. Glad to be here. So what I want more than anything is a 7-figure per month organization. So sales between the teams beneath me, it's over $1 million, so 7 figures, and then 5 more key leaders in my organization. And I like that you didn't put a time frame, because I don't know if that's realistic. See, this is like the negative self-talk, right? I don't know if that's realistic by the time we're done with this course, but I just want to be more confident saying it, that that's what I want and that's what I'll have. So
I love it. Awesome, Trisha. And thank you so much for like the whole, I don't know if this is realistic or not. Your goals, if they're worth going for, are not realistic. They don't feel realistic at all because you don't know how to get them. It's not a goal. If you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. I've done it before. That's not a goal. That's just life as you normally do it. So that's brilliant. Fun. It scares you a little bit. I can feel it.
It's scary. Like my palms are sweating a little bit right now, but I know it's doable. I just have to keep picturing it. That's why I'm here. So
Yep. And I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay. We're going to go right along to Sarah. Sarah, what is it that you're creating?
Hi, everybody. I am creating a 5-figure a month business. So my goal is $10,000 in income each month. My husband and I do web development, and that looks like 15 new clients a month doing big and small projects. Secondarily, creating an online education portal so we can be teaching masses about how to create a website to grow your business that doesn't require as much time individually. And then my other goal is I want to take my husband to the Swiss Alps. And I've been taking pictures. I actually have a friend that's doing a watercolor of the Swiss Alps we're going to be going to go hiking and to explore the beautiful earth.
Beautiful. Wow. Go big or go home, Sarah. All of you guys, go big or go home. Yes. This is fantastic. Okay. Thank you. Looks awesome. I love that you've got a number to it. We got to quantify it. We got to know when we've hit it. All right, Lark, you're up.
So I have created, or in the process of creating, an online course called Business Freedom. And I'm in the pre-launch phase. So during this time period, I would like to earn $10,000 a month from this specific course. And I want to have it finished, because I could just go on and not have it finished, because it's pre-sales, right? And then once it's online, then continue to generate revenue. So
okay,
that is my goal.
Okay, $10,000 and a completed course?
Yes. So it's this course that I'm working on. So it's in pre-launch sales. So people can start using it as I've got the modules up. So I've got 2 of the 9 modules up. And so I need to finish the other ones. Okay,
beautiful. Okay, awesome. And yeah, you can totally sell into that without it being done. Mm-hmm. People do it all the time. They sell it and then they create it. It's a brilliant business model, because then you actually, not business model, but strategy, because then you actually finish it. You're like, oh crap.
Then if nobody buys it, then like, oh, wrong course, right? Because I created something that was fantastic before, and then I thought it was fantastic and nobody bought it. So I'm like, okay, well, there you go. This time I'll pre-sell it.
Yeah. And then you've not wasted your time creating something that there's not a need for quite yet. So, Okay, awesome. Thank you. Oh, and hey, just a little plug for Sarah. She does incredible websites. She did mine. She rehauled mine.
Awesome. It's very beautiful.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, yeah. She's brilliant at what she does. So take a look at it. All right, Syra. Last, the best of all the game.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Okay, so my goal, scary goal, is to get $70,000 in debt paid off.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. We're going to tweak that just a little bit. Okay. What will the 70,000, once that's gone, what will it bring you?
I will be able to qualify to buy a house.
Okay. So that's what you want, is a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Beautiful. So that's what your goal is to qualify to buy a house. And to do that, that means you have a zero balance on all your other obligations.
Yes.
Okay. So I want debt. You are not allowed to say that word any longer. Debt free, out of debt, done. This is why your mind thinks in pictures and emotions, and it hones in on the most emotionally charged word in the sentence. And you can say debt free, and it will hone in on debt, because there is so much charge around debt. You've got to get it out of your vocabulary. Okay, so I qualify for a home because I have a zero balance on all of my previous obligations. I don't know if it's credit card debt or whatever kind of debt it is, but a zero balance on all of your previous financial obligations. Okay, so it's so powerful. Just that tiny little tweak will change so many things. Okay, oh, you guys have some awesome goals. See, isn't this an incredible group already? Oh, you guys are so well matched, so well matched. Okay. So this is what we're going to do.
Allison,
yes.
You said I qualify for a home because I have zero balance and what?
On all of my financial obligations.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or I've paid off all of my financial obligations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are very welcome. Okay, so when you are, I'm going to give you the assignment first. So your goal that you have just declared, I want you to get an index card or a piece of paper, and I want you to write it on there. And I want you to start with, I am so happy and grateful now that ... I have qualified for a home because I have paid off all my obligations. I have 15 new clients every month, and we are enjoying our trip in the Swiss Alps. I have a 7-figure organization. I am making $10,000 a month with my business. My business is automated, and I'm making $5,000 a month, okay? You see what that is. We've got to keep it present tense. We've got to keep it positive. None of the, I'm no longer struggling for money or whatever, because your mind also does not recognize negatives. Anything that negates, it doesn't recognize. So never, can't is a really interesting one because it actually sees you not being able to do what it is that you want to do. And so like any of those words that negate, we need to kick them out. Because if I tell you, don't trip, what does your mind think of? It has a picture of tripping. And so we've got to keep it present tense. We've got to keep it positive. We've got to keep it first person. And that emotion of gratitude and feeling really happy. I'm so happy and grateful now that ... Okay, so you're going to write that on the front part of your card. And I want you looking at this card all day, every day. Many, many times during the day. And in fact, I like to drink a gallon of water every day. This is not an assignment for the mastermind, so don't be confused. But I love to drink water and I love to stay hydrated. So I drink about a gallon of water a day. Well, what is the consequence of drinking a gallon of water is I have to pee like a racehorse all the time. So every time I go to the bathroom, I have my card in my pocket and I pull it out and I read it. And I take a deep breath and I picture it for just a minute while I'm going to the bathroom about reaching this goal. The thing that's so awesome about this is that you're just picturing the result and you're putting yourself in the end. You get to skip all the suck when you do that. You get to skip the hows. You get to skip the fact that it's not realistic or that you've never done it before or you've done it before and you failed or you don't know what to do. You skip and you get right past the finish line. And just for a minute. But if you're going to the bathroom 10 times a day, you're looking at this at least 10 times a day. Now, if you don't use the bathroom that much, set an alarm on your phone. Like for every hour or every hour and a half, this has got to be in your face. We've got to create your environment by putting it all around you. You're going to get to the point where you'll stick your hand in your pocket and you'll fill your paper and you'll immediately connect to the end result of what it is that you want. Okay, but right now I want you physically unfolding the paper, reading it, taking a breath, picturing it, smiling, all of those. And I want you relaxed as you do this. I don't want you tight. I don't want you like, oh man, it's another 5 minutes and I got to get this thing done. Like fun. I want you to put yourself there and what you expect to feel when it's there. Picture yourself as having already achieved it. A day in the life of Lark, who has her program sold and completed and 10 grand a month. Like a day in the life of, oh, what do I do? How am I celebrating today? All right. Just in a really fun way. See yourself doing the things that you would do once you have reached your goal. And then on the back of the card, you're going to write a scripture. Now, Does everybody here believe in a higher power? Do we all believe in a higher power? Is your vocabulary God? Or is it, okay, so nobody's going to be like tossed off course if I talk about God as your higher power, because that's my vocabulary. Okay, awesome. Thank you. All these people that are like, no, it's universal intelligence. I'm like, can we just say God? It's the same thing. Okay, so there is truth everywhere, and ancient texts and scriptures have universal laws through the entire thing, and how to think correctly through the entire thing. It is so awesome. And the Bible has this verse, and this is what I want you to write on the back of your card. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. Now, I've gone over just a little bit. I told you 30 minutes. I was thinking 30 to 45. I've got 2.5 minutes. So let me tell you, let me crack the code on this scripture for you for just a second. In Bible speak, ask means claim. You must claim what it is you want. When we have big goals and we pray, and we'll get into this later, we tend to do a lot of begging and pleading. I want this so bad. And in that moment, we're actually completely disconnected from having our goal. So ask and it shall be given you. You must claim it. Seek and ye shall find. You're going to look for evidence that it's coming, that it's already here. You're going to look for evidence. What you seek for, you will find. So if you're looking for all the ways in which you can't accomplish your goal, you're going to find that really easily. Seek. So we're going to look at how things are already working for you. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. When you go to somebody's house in their home and you knock on the door, you expect them to answer. So you must have expectation that what you want, you will receive, and you are receiving. So now, instead of just like, well, ask and it's given, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you, you've got to claim it, you've got to look for it and how it's coming, and you've got to expect that it's on its way. Expectation becomes faith. And then faith is the most powerful force we can use, faith and gratitude. All right, so those are the two things, and I want you looking at your card many, many, many times a day, at least 10, okay? And it doesn't have to, it can be 3 seconds. The more I can connect you on an emotional and visual level with what it is you want, the faster it's going to come and the easier it's going to come to you, and the more fun you're going to have with it, okay? This is where we start invoking the law of coincidence and synchronicities and ease, and it gets so juicy so fast. All right, but this is where we're going to start for the next 2 weeks. You're not going to stop. You're going to continue, like this piece, you're going to continue through the entire 4 months of us working together. And it's going to rip, you're going to lose it, you're going to have to write it again, like life is going to happen, and I'm going to say, where is your card? Or have you been looking at it? Have you been connecting with it? But this is the first part to it, and it is so important because we're planting in our mind, and we're starting to till the garden of our mind. And we're going to get that soil so rich and so fertile and so delicious that seed that you're planting cannot help but grow huge, massive, delicious fruit in the form of that specific tangible result that you have written on your cards. Deal? All right. Any questions?
You tell us what the scripture was?
Do you want the scripture reference? I don't have the reference. I'm sure it's in
Matthew 7. I just looked it up.
Thank you. I'm like, I know it's in Matthew. I just don't know exactly where in Matthew.
So Matthew chapter 7, verse 7.
Matthew 7:7. Oh, that's a perfect number. Okay. So, and look at both sides of the card too, because we're going to pair you up with the most powerful form in the universe, the most powerful being in the universe, and how God creates. And so we're going to partner you up with that power. And when we can remember that this is the key. Ask, seek, expect. Ask, seek, and knock. It comes. It has to. It's natural law. That's the way the universe has been set up. That's how it actually works. So, okay, now we're going to add to this when we actually get started. When we officially get started. But for these next 2 weeks, just do that, and I want you to be aware of what comes up. You're going to get some mind friction. I call it mind frick. It's going to come up on you quite a bit. How am I going to do that? I don't even know what I'm doing. I haven't worked on it for X amount of days, or like whatever, like stuff is going to come up to tell you why you can't get it. So just push it aside. Most commonly, you're going to get how. How is this even going to happen? I have no idea how this is going to happen. I don't know. I don't care. Don't know. Don't care. I'm just going right there. I'm just going right to the end result. I've already run and won the race, and that's where I'm going in my mind. Okay, so doubts will come up. I'm just preparing you for that right now, but just cast them aside. Like, I don't care. Just do this and see how you feel. And the more that you cast aside those doubts and that uncertainty and all of the hows, the better you're going to feel, the more real that's going to come to you. But remember, we're coaxing this little seed, and we're going to blow some life into it, and we're going to get it from spirit form, idea form, into physical form. And this is the first thing that we do. Alrighty? Okay, my friends, thank you for being on this journey with me. I am so excited to be your guide for the next 4 months. We're going to have so much fun in the jungle of your mind and to cultivate it into this massive, wonderful garden. And yeah, stick with me. And you're gonna go big, big places just by utilizing the power of your mind and finally harnessing it and seeing its power. So if there are no more questions, I will see you guys in the Facebook group. You are welcome to post questions and things in there. I'll pop in there every once in a while. I'll check it every day, but where we don't start until the 14th, and I'm gone pretty much all next week. And the conference is like 9 to 10 p.m. And so like I'm out all day. If I don't get to you, that's why I'm learning really cool things I get to come back and teach you. And I'll post all of the Zoom calls and the links and the times of our calls next week when we get closer to start day. But put March 14th, 7 p.m. in your calendar. That's when our first big call will be. And then we'll just party on from there. Alrighty. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Allison.
You are so welcome. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I'm excited to do it with you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.